You can support this show at patreon.com/ASA podcasting.
Penis feet.
The wasteland is a post-apocalyptic mess as the sole survivor wanders out about to see the rest. Nuclear explosion sending out the gamma rays from deep within the core, gross atomic waste. From deep within the core, gross atomic waste.
Hello and welcome to the 545th edition of the Fallout Feed. I am Andrew, joined by a flock of my favorite Fallout folks. Tonight, I've got Jess. What's up, Jess?
Hey, Andrew. Greets, everybody.
And also Ray. What is going on, Ray?
Hello, hello.
Tonight on the show, it is a feedback episode, and we're going through New Vegas Old World Blues. Out there getting our science on, working with the weirdo science remnants of the destroyed wahoozy whatsy out there. So let's go strap on our big boy boots and fight some fucking robo-scorpions, because
They tough.
God damn, things are harder here, it seems. I have had not a lot of trouble with combat in most of the game. You know, it's been frequent because of my, shall we say, choices. But the difficulty was, like, I don't play on a difficulty level that makes it an impossible thing to do. But, whoo, golly, Old World Blues lays it on a little thick. Anyway, get into some feedback, see how everybody else is dealing with that. We got Suliore, Lee, Dustin, Nicky, the Shoveler and Vanessa tonight. Also, a couple of games I have prepared. We've got Fiferish the 13th. And
Fiferish?
Fife, we're going to play a fife. I had to spell it weird, so it looked weird. So it's, of course, we're doing some Irish fifes and a combination of Friday the 13th. It's a spooky
Of
Friday
course.
the 13th. Yes, of course.
Anyone could
everybody
tell
knows.
that's what that meant.
Well, it's the unluckiest day and the luckiest day in a week, the same week. Can you believe that? The luck of the Irish and the Friday that come on, got to do something with that. Also, some iguana bits on our way out the door. So let's go ahead and roll right into it. See what everybody's getting into this week. Everybody's back together. All of our fights are done. Everybody's back on, the roads. Road trips are over, and all bridges have been mended because, they were on fire for a second there, you guys. Let's see. Jess, do you have a chance to play a video game this week?
Nope.
Good. All right, Ray, how about you?
There's got to be more to that story.
Oh, what'd you do?
I mean, I did what I've been doing. I did a little 76, played with the new photo mode stuff. They added some cool stuff. You can unlock these new lights now, so you can light your character from different angles. That's cool. So I hopped in there a little bit, but I haven't fought Bigfoot. I missed Bigfoot's Big Bash last week. The Big Bash is all over. So I've been just, the Fallout community has a problem, Andrew. The Fallout community has a problem. And, or maybe it's not a problem, but they have a foot fetish, like hardcore. Have you seen this?
I am unaware of our Bigfoot fetish.
I have seen more feet pics on my feed. It is not a feed, it is a feet now. I've seen more feet pics on my feed the last week than, years at a time. Everyone's like, oh, check out the size of these feet. I'm like, guys, I don't need to know about Bigfoot's feet anymore, please.
Is that a thing when you snatch yourself a Bigfoot? Do you have to, take a cast of his print or,
Apparently,
measure a corpse foot? Or what are we doing here?
One is larger than the other. And, I don't know. For all I know, Bigfoot doesn't even have a face because everyone's just taking the picture. He's got soul. Definitely got soul on his feet. but not seen his face much. No, but just a little 76. I have not played much this week. And in chat, they're asking, no Dutchie. Yeah, no, I did. I dropped some Dutchies, but y'all don't want to hear about that. I'm pretty much done with the Order of the Theocracy. That's level 3. I may be done with the game. I don't know if I'm going to do the last level or 2, but I'm having fun with it. And I'm still playing Baldur's Gate, but I haven't made it to the, nominal city of Baldur's Gate yet. I'm just tooling around outside. This week was a lot of prep. A lot of prep for the convention this weekend and just stuff happening. Excited about the C3. Also, I told you guys, I put Yeah.
Is Balder the city that you're trying to get to, and the gate is protecting the city of Balder?
No.
Oh, okay.
I mean, yes, but no. Baldur's Gate is the city. So it's not just Balder.
Oh, okay.
But it was founded by Balder. And
Okay.
dude built himself a gate, and then he built himself a city too.
So the whole
Baldur's
city
Gate.
is thanking the gate. Okay.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of like Otisburg. You sometimes you name it after somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Just a little place, Mr. Luthor. Otisburg.
Hello, new West Coast, my West Coast. Costa del X, Lutherville, Marina del X, Otisburg. Otisburg?
Miss Tessmacher, she's got her own place, Mr.
Otisburg?
It's a little bitty place.
Otisburg?
Okay, I just wipe it off. That's all. It's a little town.
Anyway, that's my gameplay. Duchies, Baldur's, Fallout. It's been a week. So y'all don't need to know more about that. I want to hear what Ray's been playing and, real stuff. And also I want to hear about the feedback from our listeners and how they're dealing with those cute but tough Roboscorps. They're like the Ohio Death Claws of New Vegas, right? Like they are tougher than they look. They're cute, but they're tough.
Oh my God, I've never been to Ohio either. Just there are so many things I have not done in that game.
Are you into that Fallout Shelter season that came out last week? Did you start it up, Andrew?
Yeah, I'm all over that scam.
Exactly.
Well, there's nothing new in my gameplay. It's definitely been Genesis and nothing but Genesis.
That's awesome, though, right? We want to hear a little bit more about Genesis, how that's going and everything.
Well, so probably to zero people's surprise, I've got 4 characters going now. Well, I guess there could be surprise that it's only 4.
Wait, no, I actually am surprised. I thought for the new thing you would give it a little time at least. Like there's so much to see.
Yeah, so in typical fashion, so I couldn't take my Imperial agent character, who is working side by side with Grand Admiral Thrawn. Yeah, I couldn't take him to join the Rebel Alliance.
Oh, that's fair. So if you want to see all sides, you have to create a character for all sides.
Yeah. So
no, that makes sense.
So my Imperial agent, did her thing, and became a Sith. So then I started a Rebel character, who has gone through that and ended up killing Ron Gallifrey, who
is that Ron Hope's name?
Yeah. Although, interestingly enough,
how do you spell his last name? I just have to ask. Gallifrey? Is it like Gallifrey?
No, it's Gallofree.
Okay, so that's probably a Star Wars reference. I thought it was a secret Doctor Who reference, and Craig and I were both very excited for a second.
No, it was definitely it was definitely Star Wars, and also it wasn't Wes Johnson. It was I guess I would imagine, since so much of the dialogue is done AI, because they're the name of the planets are different. The name of the people involved.
Yeah, they had to change a lot.
They had to change a lot, and so they did not use Wes's voice at all. So it's not a lot of them. You can tell it was the AI was trained on the original voice actor's voice, and so any lines they had to change, they could change, just specifically. That particular part of the line.
Right. That's the hard part of the mod, because obviously a lot of voice actors wouldn't approve of being trained on their lines. Like, in a way, it's almost more palatable to me if you're going to do a new character and rewrite it to use a generic licensed voice as opposed to, stealing somebody's. So I'm kind of glad they did that. with
Now,
Ron
what's the
Gallifrey.
legality of mimicking someone's voice like that? Can you just do that free willy-nilly now still, or is there any rules against that?
A lot of them are copywriting their audio.
Okay.
Yeah. In a not-for-profit mod, it can be a little bit different. Obviously, for profit, it's very easy to sue at this point, and you can license that stuff. But there are people who there's a lot springing up around AI. Like there are some actual Hollywood companies that are building a licensed database of voice actors who specifically allow you to license their name. They will get paid if you use them, and so it's kind of an in-between step. But it's not the preferred thing for most voice actors at the moment.
Yeah. So, and probably just as well because he was even more evil than Ron Hope. So.
Oh no.
And then so I had another character that was going through the Shadow Collective, which is the Crimson Fleet pirates,
Cool.
or the Shadow Collective. And I ran into a snag. So in the Crimson Fleet quest line, you have to go infiltrate in this case, an Imperial, tech base, and you put on a disguise, and and walk around in disguise.
Is it a stormtrooper helmet? Is it a stormtrooper helmet?
No, it's the very.
Come on.
You're impersonating an officer, so it's
one of those black,
one of the button down
on the side. Yeah.
Yeah.
Those jackets are so cool. I always wanted one of those side button down jackets. They look like British 60s stuff,
They are cool.
like sort of Navy officer type things. A little. I guess that's what they're trying to mimic.
Yeah. But there was a problem with the detection. Even in disguise, no matter what, somebody would, they would spot me and start shooting at me.
Well, you need to wave your little hand and be like, I am not the guy you're looking for, or whatever.
Yeah. Well, and this particular character also is not force sensitive.
Oh, that's fun.
I
didn't even think about it. Yeah, there's all sorts of ways you could play. Have you done like there's like that whole Mando sort of faction too, the armor people, the Mandalorians and stuff. Are they represented, like, or Jabba the Hutt? Have you seen anything like that with like the Hutts and all the gangsters and all that? Like, there's all sorts of weird Star Wars side stories and you could get into, not just the rebels versus the Empire.
Yeah. And so that is my most recent character. And that one is, he's in Neon right now, which is now Nar Shaddaa or something like that.
Nar Shaddaa.
And I'm hoping to meet Bayu the Hutt.
Oh, nice! You're gonna do some weird deal.
Yeah, so we'll see how that goes. I've seen pictures. And it's pretty epic.
Giant potato slug.
Cool.
And you see, in Neon, there's a statue at the, right in front of the doorway to, oh shoot, what's the name of that nightclub there?
The Astor Lounge, Neon?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So instead of a statue of the man Bayu, this is the Hutt Bayu.
Wait, if you have the Hutts, are you on? Where were they? Were they on Tatooine? Are you on Mos Eisley at that one spaceport with the club? Is that the club that you're at?
No, this one's this is different, but it is the same group. So there is a Tatooine and a Mos Eisley.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
So, but I have not been there yet.
That's the one that I've seen the most on. That it was originally created as a separate mod. They brought it in. They've added a lot to it.
That's fun.
Like,
yeah.
yeah, that whole new area, I'm really excited to see.
Yeah, so they really expanded the spaceport out in front of Neon, and there's also kind of background of this huge city. You can't get to it, but it just gives you a skyline. Also, now, so Aquila City is now Dantu City on Dantooine.
Dantooine, yeah.
And it's still a desert town with dirt roads, but there's trees and a river, and so it's very beautiful there.
Is that where the Rebel base pyramid thing is?
Yep.
Yeah, it's a cool planet.
Oh.
Were you a Star Wars guy back in the 70s when the first wave of movies came out, Ray? I don't remember you being like a super big Star Wars guy.
Not super big. I mean, I certainly went to see all three movies when they came out in the theater.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, and it's kind of like Star Trek. I watched all the Star Trek episodes, but I didn't really hardcore nerd it.
Did you watch all the? I mean, I assume you mean the original series. Did you watch all the Star Trek like Voyager and Frontier or whatever they're called, like all the Patrick Stewart ones and all those?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, and the Catherine Janeway or whatever.
So you're well versed in it.
Yeah. So yeah, I haven't watched. I've only seen a few episodes of The Mandalorian.
Seems a little cutesy for your liking, probably. I would assume.
Yeah,
it's like a teddy bear and ranger off on their adventures,
But the mod's really well done, and they're obviously very obsessed about stuff.
Oh, I could only imagine. Oh, have you seen the Yoda character? Grogu / Yoda, whatever their race is?
Not yet. But it's definitely been fun. And then, so this my smuggler character is the first one that's really done a lot of the stuff I do in Starfield, which is commandeer ships and explore planets and stuff like that. So it's been pretty cool, actually doing Starfield stuff too. So, and that's you can always tell it's at the bones of this mod. So they did they had an update come out today. They're adding stuff, on the regular. So, I got to a point in both the Imperial agent and the Rebel agent where the next quest is watch for Genesis update. So
fingers crossed, lightsabers crossed.
That just means start another new character, right? That's what inspired it.
Yeah,
you got to the end of one, you're like, okay, next.
Yeah. So it throws a curve in a couple of my my regular routines. So it's not the planets are no longer leveled in the way that they are in Starfield. So this smuggler character, I started out on Mars, but now it's Geonosis, and it's a safe planet, so you can walk around without your helmet on, because it's not Mars. But I was able to, instead of having to fly all the way to Serpentis, to get to a high enough level planet to actually go and find equipment.
Right.
I was able to do it right there on Mars.
Right. Because you said it's no longer leveled with systems the same that way. It's scaling. So
Yeah.
how do you find more difficult? Well, I mean, you said a lot of them are more difficult, but how do you find a good place to get higher level equipment?
I don't know yet.
Okay. So there really is no way until you level your character up then, as far
Yeah.
as you know. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So as you know, I've definitely come across, randomly harder characters. Like you don't, already in Starfield, you don't really mess around with the Varun, because they're pretty tough.
Yeah, you don't mess with the Varun.
Well, in Genesis, they are the Sith.
Oh, okay. Okay. Little stereotyping there, huh? The snake people are all Sith. I mean, come on.
It's like they're
And
Slytherin in Harry Potter
they're-
too. Come on,
Uh-huh.
They're even harder.
good lord! You don't need to make the hard stuff harder, folks.
So yeah, there was a considerable amount of dying. I love their ships, and so I want to take them, but the price is quite high, in that you have to, restart a lot. So, yeah, I entered this one ship, and there was an enemy right inside the door. And so it was kind of like when you have a death save, where you spawn in and die and then respawn in the exact same spot and die over and over and over. So finally I was able to take that guy out, and then move on from there. But it can be challenging and a lot of dying.
So overall, you're loving it. You made the declaration last week that your two favorite Bethesda games may have not been made by Bethesda now, with Fallout London and now Genesis. So you're still enjoying it?
So I'm still sticking with that. It's
nice.
But that said, so it's, with Starfield, it's really, a lot of it is because it's new.
Mm-hmm.
And, very creative and well done. And I like a lot of the changes that they made. The stuff that they didn't like about Starfield that they fixed with this mod, are a lot of the things that I don't like about Starfield that they've, that are now fixed with this mod.
Very simpatico. Mm-hmm.
But, the stuff, that I liked about Starfield, they kept. And so, it's all the best parts and mostly none of the worst parts. So, and that's in a lot of ways why London is so good. I mean,
right.
So I think London is a better done mod than this one, as far as a complete package.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it really is a complete overhaul. It's a full game on its own on top of another.
And so, it feels very much like not a Fallout game, even though it is clearly a Fallout game. But Genesis, you see it's kind of like a clothing mod where, some of the bits kind of show through, with clipping and everything. This is kind of the same way. So this mod, you still have little bits of Starfield poking through, especially in dialogue. The one thing will be written on the screen and, they'll say something completely different in the audio lines. And so, it's clear that they haven't gotten through all these, but I mean, that's so many lines, to have to change. it's impossible to get it all done at one time. So, but definitely, if I recommend it for anybody that
Can handle it.
that has the machine to run it. And I also did a little tweaking. I added Star UI to the mod list, which I was very quick to see if that worked, and it did.
Right? Okay,
Yes.
good.
So I've had no trouble. I didn't use the HUD, although I do need to go in and see if I can get I've got a mod that takes the when you discover a new planet and the whole middle of the screen fills with all this information about the planet and now where it fits in the system and all that kind of stuff, while you're being shot by enemy ships. But you can't see them because there's something in your vision.
Not the best timing. It's true.
Yeah.
Doing that while you're loading in.
So I've got a mod that, that puts that out of the middle of the screen and makes it much smaller. So I'm going to have to try to load that one in because that's definitely the current thing that's bugging me the most.
It's funny. That's a classic. And, no one's ever 100% happy with Bethesda UI. We're always remaking it, with various systems. But it's kind of funny because in Fallout 4, like we do the opposite. A lot of people, they won't see their settlements being attacked or things happening up in the, small on the left. And so they use a mod to actually pause the game and put it right in the middle of the screen,
Yeah.
So neither way, nobody's happy.
Well, that's our nature. We're not supposed to be happy.
Yeah, the UI is always greener or more amber on the other side. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Hilarious. So you got me thinking there, Ray. You said your two favorite Bethesda games weren't even made by Bethesda. I think it's 3. I think New Vegas wasn't even made by Bethesda, really.
Yeah, well, that's true.
Your top 3 games aren't Bethesda games.
At least they published it, but you have a very good point here.
Ray does not like Bethesda games.
I love Bethesda games
when they're done by other people better.
I mean,
yeah, I'm not wrong.
It's kind of, because I play on PC and because I can mod games.
It makes a big difference.
I do
access
mod
for
games.
improvement, right?
Yep.
And if you mod games, you have a different expectation. I don't not like the games, the way they were if that was all. If I was a PlayStation, user, I would be perfectly happy with them.
I'd pay money to see that, Ray.
I wouldn't have any other choice.
Perish the thought, but yeah, you'd still enjoy them for what they are.
Yeah.
But, if you can tailor them to your tastes, you will tailor them to your taste.
Exactly.
Totally get that.
Yeah.
I've always assumed... Sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, if you have the ability to put ice in your Coke, you're going to put ice in your Coke.
No, I'm not. I've got 2 things. Oh, man, that hurts my teeth. Ice.
No, the alligator speaks the truth here, Andrew. I will put the cubes on my Coke.
I'm going to believe that wolf in sheep's clothing over there. He's the wood of the axe is telling the trees that the woodsman is here to save them. So...
Yeah, so Suliore asked if Skyrim counts. Is he talking about modding?
Oh, yeah. Or it's one of your favorite games. I don't know what.
So I did have, I do have to say I am a big fan of Novus. Now I did have to uninstall it from the computer because even though I have a 2 terabyte hard drive dedicated just to gaming, Novus was so big
Not bigger than
it
2
took-
terabytes. Good lord.
It took too much of my drive to
Good
be able to also
lord.
load.
That's bigger than my Xbox.
just-
That's
it's
crazy.
yeah, it was a massive mod. I think I cleared up 800 gig.
Build a new PC just to play Nolvis. This is my Skyrim PC. This is my Fallout London PC. This is my Genesis PC. You know, each got their own install, take over the whole drive.
Well, so that got me thinking. So my motherboard does have one more slot for an M2 drive.
Oh, I mean,
So I'm gonna have to add another 2 terabyte drive, and then just use that for Novus.
it's an imperative. Admittedly, this is not the best time to invest in anything dealing with memory or storage, but an M2 drive isn't that bad. Not like memory right now.
Is it still because of the crypto harvesting or whatever they call it? Was that something else? That
and
was
AI.
video cards or something,
And
right?
AI data centers, stuff more than that. Yeah, there's a lot going on around.
Yeah, because
PC
the
parts.
crypto guys got their own cards.
Yeah.
So they started manufacturing cards specifically for them. So
Yeah, now it's data centers and
Dude,
all
data
that.
centers are all over my local news. People are like, every local, town meeting is about like people throwing their arms up about data. Don't build a data center in our town. Are they super bad for water supply or something? What's the problem with data centers?
they are generally bad, but the biggest thing is that they take up so much power.
Oh,
Yeah,
there you go.
that
They don't have their own power plant.
Yeah,
they should. They should have their. They
company-
just build your own power plant, and you can build them wherever the fuck you want, you guys.
That's
Well,
what
but-
some companies are doing. Yeah,
but why would
actually.
you when you can
Just
get the
steal the towns.
local town to build a new build extra capacity and then just charge the existing users for that capacity,
Exactly.
so that the
Because
AI
they
data
pass
center
it
doesn't
on
have
to the
pay.
people. That's why.
Exactly.
There's
they're the ones using the AI, so
Yeah.
they
there's
should
the
have to pay for
water,
it.
there's the power. There are a number of aspects to why it's
What's
not the best.
the
But I mean,
water? Are they literally water cooled or something, or what's
that's
the...
a lot of it. Yes,
is
a
it?
lot of it's for cooling. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, and it really depends on the location. Like, for instance, there's an area, just outside Washington, right in like Maryland, Northern Virginia, that has more data centers per capita than like any other place in the U.S.
Uh-huh.
And they're getting swamped. Their grid is getting overwhelmed
Oh,
there
that's too
because of
bad.
it. And also, they can be noisy, but
Noisy.
at the same time,
What, just a
we've had
loud
data centers for
hum or
years.
something, like that background hum? Okay.
Yeah, just having them too concentrated in too many places.
Yeah,
It can be an issue.
but just think of all those security jobs that come along with it, because you've got to have 20 or 30 guards to keep the places safe.
I thought you meant IT security people.
It only takes like 2 IT people.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
just
was-
a few IT people.
So it only creates 2
Yeah.
IT jobs, but 20
Yeah.
actual security jobs.
Yeah, to shoot people if they try to break in.
So 2 high-paying jobs and 20 low-paying jobs. That's
I
not
mean-
that's not the ratio they want.
Hey, all I know is if Robco wants to build near me, I'm saying yes.
Oh please, that is the kind of company we want in our communities. Oh yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. Only the only good thing about a data center is if they improve the internet infrastructure in your
If they
area,
lay fiber or something, right?
so that you can get better internet.
And they're not going to give it to you for free. So I mean, whatever.
Yeah.
You pay for it either way. Who cares?
But
We're all going
I
to
know
die in the end, right? Whatever.
we have
Yeah, go ahead.
some. Well, I mean, we've got some feedback and stuff to get to, but I wanted to check if you'd played any New Vegas too, Ray, like any other gameplay going on.
Yeah. So I am not sure what happened, but I had to get out of the big empty because for whatever reason, I was leveling up like crazy.
Really?
Like
So
in a problematic way?
Well, so I went in to the big MT at level 23. and I finally threw up on my hands and ran out at level 32.
Wow. Oh my gosh. Yeah, you said you put on 4 levels already last week, but I didn't expect that much. Wow.
Yeah, it was like, what? Not again.
So
I don't have my character planned this far out.
I didn't know you
You
could
know,
leave. That's when you can leave, I guess, huh?
Well,
he must have finished it.
yeah,
Or finished some of it.
Yeah, once you get and I can go back. You know, the other thing is I blew a fortune on repairs because the sync repair guy is, does 100% repairs, but they ain't cheap. So at one point
I
I
can
had
never
to
afford those when it says it's an option. Yeah, I can never afford those top fix everything. Like, pff,
oh yeah,
that's a dream.
yeah. My fix everything was like over 30,000 caps.
Oh, good Lord. Go play some Caravan, Ray.
So
hit the casinos again.
yeah, so it was it was time to get out. But I did manage to, since I was like, well, I don't know, what the hell am I throwing my my points into? So I upped my repair and got jury rigging. So my repair going into the big empty was 50 and 100 coming out.
Beautiful. So you put it to good use.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So I also went to 100 in speech and science. So,
You're
definitely.
maxing out
What
all
aren't
those
you in
skills.
100 now, Ray? Right? I mean, geez.
So barter, which, maybe why everything was so damn
So damn expensive. There you go.
Yeah.
You're still 23 in barter.
11.
Nothing. Oh, that's why everything's expensive. Holy cow.
Yeah. So, so I had to get back out to the Mojave so I could start making some money again. Where's no bark?
No caravans in the caravan players
No.
up in the big empty?
No, because they're the stupid robots
Just-
or
oh.
lobotomites.
What? You could totally school some lobotomites in caravan. Come on, if you found like a robot. Are there any robots that play caravan in the wasteland? Are they all humans?
No, everybody, it's all
Everything.
humans.
I'd be interested, like, if they set up a caravan, like, who is that famous chess player to beat the computer or whatever? Like, redo that, but with caravan against a robot. Come on. That'd be great. Go humans. Before I get into any gameplay or anything, and I don't have much, I was just going to ask, we're talking about modding, and I was just sort of curious. Bethesda seems to have always been like really open to letting modders have access and open to that sort of thing. And it might just be because I play a lot of Bethesda games where podcasts are very Bethesda centric and all that. But is Bethesda like in the modding sort of world? Is that like considered the best playground, or what IP do people like to mod in best? You know what I mean? Like, because I'm basically secluded over here on island of Bethesda. You know what I mean?
Well, it has spread over the years as far as, what can be modded, what is modded. For the longest time, yes, Bethesda has catered the most to the modding community. They've made their engine specifically so that it could be modded. They've done things like the creation kit and provided tools to help people mod. And because of all that, a huge community's grown up around it. But if you go to the Nexus, you'll see that plenty of other games do get mods too, and some have even begun to encourage it. They were the first to bring it to consoles, for instance, and back in 2016 with Special Edition Skyrim, and then and bringing it with Fallout 4 and stuff too. But other games, Cyberpunk has plenty of mods. Baldur's Gate's encouraging it. Like Minecraft, even. Like I don't know.
Yeah,
Ray. What do you say are other majorly modded games?
So I'm just looking at the Nexus page, and there are 4,456 games that Nexus hosts mods for.
See, that's
a lot
awesome.
of games.
If you went back 10 years ago, it would probably be more like 20 or 30.
Can
Well,
you
maybe 30 or
organize
40,
them by publisher, Ray? Do you have a filter of that?
Yes, but you can also organize them from most to least modded, most to least number of mods. So let me tell you the top 5, okay? Skyrim Special Edition, Fallout 4,
Okay.
Skyrim,
Okay.
Cyberpunk 2077,
Hey.
Fallout New Vegas, and then Stardew Valley and Baldur's Gate, and then it's more Bethesda.
Stardew Valley. Stardew Valley. There you go.
Yep.
What? Who made Cyberpunk, Ray?
CD Projekt Red.
Did you play that game, Jess? You played a little bit, didn't you?
Actually, I didn't. It's one of
You
my
didn't?
shames. I bought it. I own Cyberpunk 2077. It's on Game Pass, and I already own it.
Oh, it's on Game
Played
Pass?
a ton
That
of The
might-
Witcher 3.
That might
but
make me sign back up. Play that a little bit.
It's
one of the best games.
it is an awesome game.
Did it
You
just
know,
pop on
and-
recently?
Yeah, it's added
Yeah.
this month. It's just being added this month.
Okay,
Yeah.
good timing.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
and it's it's one of those that it took a beating at the beginning. It always played great for me. I never
You have a
I
supercomputer.
didn't have any problems with it until they started fixing it for everybody else.
Right. People with good PCs, it played fine for them from the beginning, even though they've made improvements to it. But those of us on consoles or lower end PCs, that's why I waited for the next gen version to buy it. And then once I did, just, into other things.
Yeah. But it when they did their 2.0, moment, they dramatically improved the game and the way that it plays, and how much better you can manipulate a character to make unique characters in the game. So you can really go, heavy duty. I would say Fallout 4 is probably the game that I have the most characters in. But Cyberpunk is a game that I really spend a lot of time. When I do play it, I get, kind of like I have with Genesis. You get
Yes.
so focused on it because it's so intricate in how you build your characters, and what you do with the different functionality of the different traits and everything. So it's definitely a really well improved. It's not, they didn't just polish it, they rebuilt it and made it a much better game than it was when it first came out.
Yeah, I think it's a must play for a lot of our crew. It's got a lot of the same strengths as the games we enjoy. So,
And
Yeah. And it's one I've never felt like I've had to mod.
mhm.
I'd never heard the publisher before, I don't think. Say that again. Who was it? Who made the game?
CD Projekt Red. They made,
yeah.
Witcher.
Right. I was gonna say, yeah. Now I recognize CD Projekt Red. The project has a K, right? Are they like a German
they're a
company
Polish
or
studio.
something? Polish. Okay.
Witcher's based on the books by, I think it's Andrzej Sapkowski. He's a Polish author, really big over there. And yeah,
Oh, cool.
they started as a studio to port. They were doing ports. They were porting games, and then their dream was to make a Witcher game. They got the license, and they've just grown from there. But they kind of learned on the job. I've said before, Witcher 1 was rough, but good, and they just got better each time.
Beautiful. All right. So for my gameplay, I just did a little bit of basic running around in the big MT some more, just trying to get the first few, I don't know, repair objects or whatever they're called. They sort of look like hollow discs or whatever. So I'm just running around finding that sort of stuff, running around different locations, and just finding that the Mr. Gutsies are fucking impossibly hard. The Robo Scorpions are impossibly hard. And I'm just wondering what the fuck the level up and difficulty is all about. Like,
It
yikes.
was the third DLC they came out with, and you even get the warning at the beginning. They knew it was tougher. So you got that pop-up saying, you better be level 15 plus.
But come
And
on.
by 50, yeah,
Come on.
it's a solid 15 plus.
Yeah, and Ray's leveling up so much, like, because out in the wasteland you get 18 XP for killing something, and here I'm getting 40 to 55 XP every time I kill something. You know, you get 2 or 3 times the XP, it seems, just for killing one thing, but that thing is also 2 or 3 times harder to kill here than it was in the general wasteland. So that's my just sort of general experience so far with Big MT. I need to really roll up the sleeves this next week and get into the actual quests and get stuff solved. But Jess mentioned it. I mentioned it last week. Those fucking little Robo-Scorpion guys, they are so... I want one. I want a little, like, you know how they have those little Robo-Pet dogs now? I want a little Robo-Pet Scorpion. Like, I disabled the laser. Ooh, unless you made it, like, not hard, and he could play with the kits. He had little kitty cats running around, and he has, like, a little laser pointer, if it turned into a laser pointer instead of a laser gun or whatever. And just, like, pew, pew, pew. Oh,
they're great. One thing that's fun is that they're kind of a reference to Wasteland as well. In
really?
in the Wasteland game, some of the toughest creatures are these giant metallic Robo-Scorpions that are awesome. Giant Robo-Scorpion.
Why were does that not carried into, Fallout 4 or whatever? That's, I mean, okay, the regular scorpions are bad enough, but they're just so cute. I love them so much. All right. So that is basically my gameplay for Fallout. I did a little bit more of Zelda. I'm still playing that. Suliore reminded me as we were signing off last week that, like, I was still one temple short. I had finished the Shadow Temple last week, and I was like, oh, and next is the end or whatever. But then I remembered, oh wait, I have to go over and do the whole, like, Gerudo Valley people and do all that stuff. So I still had I did the Shadow Temple, then I still had to do the Spirit Temple, which I forgot about, which I just finished that I think yesterday or maybe. So that's the Twin Witches Monrovia or whatever they're called. But that was a lot of fun, and now I'm just sort of like in the end stages. So I'm making sure I have all the little itty bitty bits before I go into the last part of the game. Make sure I have all the heart pieces and everything, and then I'm, oh my god, it's so annoying. There's like a 20 possible hearts you can get, I think. And then each heart, there's like 10 extra ones. So you can get the 10, and then you find like extra pieces all around. And each piece you collect 4 pieces to make 1 extra heart container. So I'm at 19 3/4. There's one I fucking missed somewhere.
There's like one missing. No. Platform 19 3/4.
No. I'm stuck on platform 19 3/4. The fuck, I'm going to run into a wall with my suitcase.
And that's so like
terrible.
The Zelda analog to leveling up, leveling up your heart bars. You can't level up your character.
Exactly, right. You just collect more hearts as you go.
You
improve your gear as you go.
We have a spontaneous Ken poll in chat, Andrew. Do you want to do a quick Ken poll right here?
Oh, absolutely. What are we doing?
Okay, so the Ken poll right now, Kenny asks, which Fallout faction would be the most fun to play in Starfield? Because, of course, Kenny is a big Starfield fan, like some of us too. But which Fallout faction would come over? So my answer that I put in there, I put Railroad, because it would imply an Institute analog and synth. So the Railroad itself as, a kind of covert spy, blah, blah, blah group, that's cool. I like the Railroad. I like what they are. But the idea that also would mean that there would be synths in the game, and like that whole, the robotic man, and bringing all that like into the sci-fi of Starfield. I would love that. I would love that.
Genesis has it. There's droids all over.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. Rando says the Minutemen. Another solar system needs your help, dude.
Oh, good lord. Get away from me, Space Preston.
It's Suliore mentions the BOS are essentially the UC. It's true. Not really.
BOS.
They have different goals.
Shit. Could you imagine the BOS bringing a fucking airship to a spaceship battle and just being like, doot, doot, doot.
I would love that.
Around
BOS, like
and your fucking blimp, and then having like your spaceship go zip, 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 like space by is like, oh my god, that'd be so hilarious. Yeah, bring it on. fucking brotherhood. Let's go. Come
Yeah.
to a space battle. I want to see you get your ass whooped.
No, I love the idea of that. The Prid one would be like an M-class mothership, like like the legendary ships, like the Raiders have the Blatodia, the Spacers and stuff. You've got like legendary ship that would be the Prid, and then you'd have a bunch of dogfighters like vertibirds coming around, like epic battles. Make them a technomancer kind of faction. I would love that.
That'd be
super
sweet.
cool. How about you, Ray? Do you have any faction you might want to see in Starfield from a Fallout lore?
I guess maybe the followers of the apocalypse.
Yeah,
That'd be fun. I was
they
gonna
are.
Yeah, no. That's a good choice. Go ahead, Jess.
I was going to say they are kind of like the church, right? The Church of Enlightenment, almost.
Yeah, to some extent. I mean, it's really, technology for people's sake.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and being a repository of
Yeah, that's
knowledge
great.
and healing and medicine and all that. That Starfield needs more of that. I mean, they do. I think we all agree that they need some stronger factions. Like the ones we have are good, but there really should be more. Absolutely.
Are there any weirdo religious factions at the expense of their own well-being, like the children of Adam or something? Like that'd be hilarious to have like the children of Adam, because they're surrounded. You assume that in space you're surrounded by all these like nuclear generators. So they'd be like running around de-shielding all of the protective shielding on all of the power units and all the cities and stuff. That'd be kind of fun. Actually, they would create havoc.
Yeah, I like that.
The fucking children
I
of
like that
Adam
idea.
would wreak havoc in Starfield. That'd be fun. Put them in it.
Yeah,
would be
running their
really fun.
reactors unshielded.
Yeah, totally.
Yep.
Blowing shit up on purpose,
Specifically
right?
being exposed to like extra solar radiation. Yeah, kind of reminds me of what were the groups that live on the edge in Firefly? The Reavers, was that it?
Yeah.
But like, but not quite Reavers, because more children of Adam. Like, yeah, that would be awesome. Lee mentions that the Gunners are basically the ecliptic. He's not wrong. They're essentially the same. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that. Or they're just archetypes that they carried from game to game to game, I guess. Yeah,
Definitely.
yeah.
All the big questions. I mean, a lot of Starfield revolves around the big questions. That's why in some ways the like Sanctum Universum has a little bit of Children of Adam vibe to it. More philosophical, but still like the better parts of Children of Adam. Fun Ken pull. Thanks, Kenny. Just popping into chat.
Absolutely.
But,
Thank you, Ken.
we got some feedback coming up.
We do. Let's roll into it.
We make feedback.
We're going to hear from Suliore, our good buddy Lee, Dustin, Coleman Nicky, John the Shoveler, and Vanessa. Let's see what Suliore has to say.
Hey all you cool cats and dolls, this is Ace Rockwell back with another report from my trips around the Mojave Wasteland, or in this case, Big Mountain. So, you remember that drive-in theater I mentioned at the end of the last holotape I sent y'all? I probably should have left this one alone. So, I get there, and there's this movie playing, but it's not a normal movie. It kind of reminded me of something I used to watch with my parents when I was a kid, something called Mystery Science Theater, I don't know. But I see this eye watching me from the screen, and it looked like it was really watching me, not just the eye on the screen looking out. Gave me the fucking creeps. Then, someone must have drugged me because I wake up in some lab butt naked. Felt like somebody had slipped me a Mickey, but I don't know who it could have been. Sure as hell couldn't have been the eyeball on the screen. So I get up, which was no easy feat because I felt like I weighed 1,000 pounds. Make my way into this big room with a bunch of monitors. Wait, those weren't monitors. Those were actually robots that had faces. Their eyes and mouths were screens. So these robots, I've seen people in robots before, robo-brains. This was something different. They were robots with brains, but they definitely weren't robo-brains. This was something new. It seemed like this Klein was the leader, and goddamn was he condescending. He acted like I didn't even understand English. Also, for somebody who's supposed to be some brilliant scientist, How the hell doesn't he know the difference between a phalange and a penis? Maybe these people had just been dealing with a bunch of guys that have toe-sized penises. I don't know. If that's the case, I feel sorry for them. Although I will say that it really pisses me off that they extract my brain, spine, and heart from my body. I'd like to keep those on the inside, thank you very much.
Better than your penis.
After talking to Klein for what seemed like an eternity, while he also debated the other robots, I finally feel like I understand what's going on here, to an extent at least. These robots were betrayed by one of their own, somebody named Morbius, and that's the guy who has my brain. If I want any chance of being reunited with my brain and my other body parts, I need to take him on and get it back from him. But first, I need to upgrade a lot of the robots that are in my living area, or what's being designated as my living area. It's called the sink. And for some reason, all of these things in there talk and have personalities. Although the central robot in that area made sure to let me know that none of them are actually intelligent. There is no artificial intelligence in any of these. It's just personality holotape. So they're wanting me to get all of these robots in the sink online and upgrade it. Also, I spent some time talking to each of the doctors. Turns out that there was another courier that was in this area, and I need to talk to Klein to find out who it is and see if he knows anything about him. Talking to Dala, she didn't seem to think my physical form was that disgusting like the others did. In fact, I'm surprised she didn't explode from talking to me. She seemed pretty excited. Also, along with finding these holotapes for the sink, I need to find a weapon called a sonic emitter and this stealth suit. I think it's called the X-13. Something tells me I'm going to need that first, so yeah, that's what I did. Went and found the stealth suit. Funny enough, this had its own personality. Also, let me know anytime my Pip-Boy light was on, which some of that was intentional, thank you very much. I need to be able to see what I'm doing, even if it makes me less stealthy. It also seemed upset that I didn't have any Med-X on me. It's like, I could make that less painful, but you don't have any Med-X. Thank you very much. I do not need that addiction, along with the others. There were also some evaluation tests for the stealth suit that I took as well. Figured I should try out the equipment. And as soon as I left that building, there were some giant robot scorpions that were attacking me. Apparently these were Morbius's creation. And even with my YCS-186, which I could kill Deathclaws with 2 shots, these were tougher than that. Morbius didn't seem to like it when I shot them either. Stop! You'll damage the hull! Yeah, that's the idea. Thank you. So, found a bunch of upgrades for the robots in the sink and got them online. I still am looking for a couple of the upgrades. Also found some upgrades for the sonic emitter. Seems to be a pretty nice gun. We'll have to see if some of the upgrades will make it a little bit more powerful, though. So, I'll let you know once I'm done finding everything, and then it's time to take on Morbius. But until then, why don't I turn this over to Suliore? You certainly know how to get in trouble, don't you? Not my fault. Everybody seems to want a piece of me. This time, more than one. You ever think that if it's everybody else that's the problem, it might actually be you? What the hell's that supposed to mean? Don't worry about it. So, yeah. Definitely been having fun with this. I forgot that it's basically one giant fetch quest. But, you know, it is what it is. I think all the different personalities of the robots, and that definitely make it fun. Like, who doesn't love Muggy, the maniacal mini Securitron that's obsessed with coffee mugs? Or the toaster that is obsessed with destroying the world. He just needs a giant heating coil instead of the little one that he's got. The auto dock is definitely handy. I don't think I fully took advantage of that the last couple of times I've played through Old World Blues. Like, I was just buying a ton of stim packs from the vendor in the central unit. Also love the light switches that loved you turning them off and on, and then get jealous when you talk to the other light switch. And yeah, those Robo Scorpions are no joke. Like I said, even with my YCS 186, being able to kill Deathclaws in like 1 to 2 shots with that thing, it's taking more than that with the Robo Scorpions. So yeah, during my stream, I was just like, okay, I'm sure that once I get done with this set of upgrades, it'll be done. And then like 3 hours later, I was still searching for more holotapes. So yeah, but yeah, definitely still enjoying it. We'll see if this remains my favorite DLC once we get to Lonesome Road. Like I said, I completely forgot that it was basically one giant fetch quest. But yeah, until then, I will see everybody in the Wasteland.
All right, go back to that thing that what did he say they did? He used to do, he just used to buy a bunch of stim packs, but now he's taking advantage of something that he didn't in his previous playthroughs. What was that thing that he was talking about? What was that?
The auto dock upgrade.
Auto dock upgrade. Tell me about that.
So there's an auto dock in the sink, and you.
What do you do with the auto dock? What is that for?
Well, the main thing, the most useful thing is that it will heal. All your broken limbs.
Is it automatic doctor?
Radiation. Yes.
Okay.
Cleans up all your rads, heals you. Basically, no matter how beat up you are when you go in there, it spits you out, clean as a whistle.
Yep. So the one you get here in the sink that he hasn't upgraded, that's the most powerful one in the game. So for instance, Caesar has an auto dock that you can work on fixing in order to help him with his surgery. The Falls of the Apocalypse have a, like a Mark 1 or 2 auto dock, but this one is extra powerful.
The Brotherhood of Steel have one of those in Fallout 4? No, they have real doctors, don't they?
Yeah.
Idiots.
You can also find 2 holotapes that also let it alter your character, which is so useful in New Vegas, where you've got all these fine controls over what your character looks like.
Mm-hmm.
And also you can do updated hairstyles. So again, because that's such a thing in New Vegas.
Yeah, so many to choose from without mods. And once you get mods, there's a lot more. But yeah, it's funny because the autodock is basically like the Symptomatic in 76. There's a lot of similarities there, but 2 different companies, 2 different machines.
The thing that cracks me up the most about all those machines is that, so this is a very
that phone booth thing, yeah,
jazz, blues, vibing location. And so, a lot of them, sound a lot like Three Dog, smooth and cool and, daddy-o.
Yeah, that's, still your character Ace Rockwell fits right in there. He loves them. But yeah, as far as the rest of the feedback, his YCS, that's the weapon he's using, right?
Yeah,
His
I've got
energy.
Boone carrying that around.
Nice. Yeah, it's a Gauss rifle kind of dealio, if I believe. And it's funny, they're talking about, a couple times people said Morbius. It's actually Mobius, but
Mobius,
Brain of
yeah.
Morbius is another Doctor Who reference. So shout out to
Morbius.
that. Yeah.
I was gonna say Mobius. That's the whole time loop thing with the piece of paper you flip over and then tie back
The
together.
Mobius
It's
strip,
one time, 2-sided but one time or whatever, or one-sided, one continuous side. Is that it? Yeah.
Yep.
Crazy. All right, but it's Mobius, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Because he's twisty.
He's one-sided.
Mm-hmm.
He's twisty and one-sided. So many. All right. Thank you, Mr. Suliore. You guys have any more thoughts before we check in with our next good buddy?
Yeah, we are all good.
Greetings. This is Lee Benjamin with the story of Laurie Finch in the New Vegas Wasteland, Episode 8. After leaving the NCR embassy, Laurie, Cass, and Eddie passed through the South Vegas ruins and stumbled upon lots of raiders, who Cass identified as fiends, and their home base, Vault 3. Forgetting their desire for a period of rest, they proceeded to dispose of those outside, including Violet and driver Nephi. Unfortunately, Cook slipped away. Major Daughtry had a bounty on all of them. They went into Vault 3, hoping to find Cook. While clearing out the fiends, they found an NCR ranger, Bryce Anders, who was wounded. He had been tasked to take out the gang leader and gave them the key to the maintenance wing, where the top boss of the fiends, Motor Runner, was located. They healed Ranger Anders and sent him back to base to further heal his near gangrenous leg. They searched the rest of Vault 3, taking out all opposition, and didn't find Cook, but they eventually found Motor Runner on their way out, where they had killed him earlier without noticing. After rest and restocking in Nipton, they decided it was a good time to explore to the south. They came across the Mojave Drive-In and found a satellite had crashed in the middle of the parking lot. Since they had made several detours along the way, dusk was falling and they decided to set up camp for the night. During the night, they were disturbed by a mole rat attack and noticed that the satellite had powered up and a strange roving eye was projected from it onto the movie screen. It was strangely fascinating. Laurie approached the satellite to examine it more closely. Suddenly, she was swept away into a bright white vortex where she was treated to a slideshow with narration that told the history of a massive think tank called Big Mountain that contained laboratories investigating all of the sciences known to man. The narration detailed some of the great innovations pursued by the facility. Then the Great War came and most of the facility was left in ruins, except for the giant concrete dome of the research center in the middle of the crater it was originally built in. At the end of the seemingly endless bright tunnel, she found herself standing on the balcony of a great tower which reminded her of the upper part of Helios 1, except it appeared to be protected by a force field, similar to those protecting some of the robots stored under Helios 1. The broad vista appeared to be the inside of the crater that was called Big Mountain in the slideshow. She felt strangely heavy and noticed some faint scarring on her body. She was wearing some strange headgear. It wasn't a helmet because she couldn't remove it. This disturbed her even more than the fact that she was in a surgical gown and was getting chilly. Fortunately, she found her possessions in a trunk by the wall behind her, quickly changed into her more familiar black combat armor. She then walked all the way around the tower and ended up back where she'd started, by a door resembling those found inside many industrial buildings. Entering the door was her only option, so she did. She found herself in a circular workroom with 3 rooms off of it. In front of her was an electronic map table that threw an error when activated, stating the personality files were damaged and must be restored from a backup holotape. A workbench and a reloading bench appeared to be perfectly normal. There were displays around the room showing graphs and charts, but they had no labels to say what they meant. One display looked like an overview map of Big Mountain with a mechanical cursor atop it that was continually scanning locations on the map. Seeing this, she remembered her Pip-Boy map. The world map showed the same map as the one on the wall, but identified her location as the Sink Balcony. The local map identified the door at the top of the display as the one she'd come in, and was labeled as an exit to Big MT, obviously.
You
Big
are
Mountain.
here.
And another door was Think Tank. Beside the
You
Think
have
Tank door
mail.
was another exit to Big MT, which must be on another level as she had only found one door on the balcony. The lack of elevation markers of some kind on the Pip-Boy still irritated her. She found
Is
a
it
terminal
her
in the
that it
room attached to a
irritated?
cabinet or booth, again with no indication what the device might be for. It also needed a personality restored from backup. Apparently, devices having personalities were a big thing here. Many robots, like Victor, had personalities loaded onto them. Next to the loading bench, there was an ammo box containing a few electron charge packs, energy cells, and microfusion cells, basically all batteries of different shapes and power profiles. There was an unlabeled control panel on the wall. She pressed a button and the single-line display identified it as a book shoot? One of the buttons blinked at her, coaxing interaction. Of course, it also needed its personality replaced or updated. She remembered a Doc Withers she had met somewhere, who described all the ailments that he could fix in his over-loud, irritating voice, followed by the statement that he had no fix for personality. In a storage cabinet above the workbench, she found some basic supplies. This might be a place she could store things if it turned out to be a practical base in this place that begged for exploration to find answers to her many questions about where she was and why. She decided to search this area, facing the balcony door. The first room on the right looked like a parlor with a couch, coffee table, a large display across from the couch, and there were 2 doors on the far wall. The door on the right was a bedroom, and the other door was closed and locked. Checking her keyring confirmed that she didn't have an appropriate key. The parlor display seemed to be repeating the slideshow that she had seen on her way here, but in black and white without the audio narration. There were no obvious controls to change what was displayed. There was a jukebox against the wall between the doors, which also needed its personality adjusted. A side table had 2 bottles of wine, a box of Mentats, and an old-fashioned toaster with a display that needed a personality. Under the table was a footlocker containing some ballistic ammo and a set of worn metal armor. Since she didn't need any of these things, she left them there. In the bedroom there were the following: a med kit with some empty syringes, an elaborate but empty wall safe, a large storage box, and cabinets, all of which were empty. Wall shelves with various supplies, a few pre-war books, and a lab coat with a label calling it Mad Scientist Scrubs. 2 foot lockers, each containing only a few bottle caps. By the door there was a light switch which complained of an advanced function file being damaged, and you guessed it, wanted a backup restored. In one corner stood a small statue of a Securitron robot no more than 2 feet tall. Its display wasn't a cowboy, police officer, or soldier, but a cup of coffee? Apparently it was more than a statue, as the display also showed, unsurprisingly, that it also needed its attitude adjusted. After a short nap on the large bed, she continued her search for answers. The second room, opposite the balcony door, had the words "The Sink" at a couple places on the walls, Nuka-Cola and Sunset sarsaparilla machines, and 2 elevator doors. One was marked Think Tank, and the other was marked Big MT, with the latter being locked. Again, none of her keys fit the lock. There was nothing else in the room, and despite the happy-looking Think Tank sign beckoning her, she moved on to the next room. The third room contained a refrigerator, a hot plate, a biological research computer, several boxes of dirt with irrigation for planting, shelves with generic supplies, and a toolbox. The fridge contained some typical Mojave fruits, nuts, and other foods. The hot plate had some chemical recipes for drugs, including rushing water that contained jet, slasher, which required psycho, and several others that she knew how to make and ones that she'd never heard of, and contained some ingredients that she'd never heard of. Oh, and it also allowed for some more conventional cooking. The biological research station also needed a personality. The pump for the irrigation systems had no visible controls and was likely controlled from the research station. The toolkit had a single wrench in it. Since there wasn't anything more to learn in The Sink, Laurie took the elevator to Think Tank. The elevator lobby was just a room with 2 elevator doors, some other nondescript equipment, and a hallway ramp leading upstairs. Exiting the elevator, she realized 2 things. The background music in The Sink continued here, though she never saw a radio in The Sink. She guessed that made sense, as a radio in a sink would be a shocking hazard. The second thing was that something in the air made her reluctant, nay, incapable of drawing her weapon. The large room at the top of the ramp contained a wall of computers and screens, but the occupants of the room, when seen, were very weird. There were several robo-brains like nothing she'd ever seen. They floated above the floor like iBots, but the top half was obviously a brain case. Instead of arms like a Mr. Handy, each had 3 video screens. 2 screens showed eyes, and the third showed a mouth that moved as they talked. So far, their talk consisted of threats and bickering among themselves, and was led by one called Dr. Klein, with the others named 8, O, Boris, and Darla. They referred to her as a lobotomite, and it was not clear that they understood her speech, or cared to. In addition, a female-sounding Darla called her the one we sent the message to, a teddy bear, and a skinvelope, proving there was something outside of their crater. They proceeded to discuss her as if she wasn't there, but indicated that she'd had her brain removed. This didn't seem possible, and it astounded them that she could understand most of them and respond. They realized that by slowing down their thought pattern, they could understand her speech. Klein seemed obsessed with calling any humanoid appendage a penis, to include arms, legs, toes, and fingers. Somehow, they detected her toes through her boots. The perverts. As they discovered her amazing abilities for a lobotomite, they were interrupted by a signal from the Forbidden Zone. One Dr. Mobius, another floating multi-screened robo-brain, who said that his robo-scorpions would soon swarm across Big MT with their pincers and pointy laser tails to claim all science as his own. Blair thought she might be hallucinating, but as one says, she didn't think she could make this up, so it must be somewhat, kind of, real. Dr. Mobius ended his particular threatening rant and said goodbye. The others discussed the possibility of Laurie, this peculiar lobotomite, being useful and perhaps even helpful in solving their particular brand of problems, of which they obviously had many. They said her brain had been replaced by the coils of Nikola Tesla, whatever that meant. She felt no different regardless. Darla removed her brain, and to quiet her organs crying out for direction, she removed them too, her heart and her spine. The actual surgeries were done by a machine called an Autodoc, a creation of Mobius, along with all of the devices with personalities in the sink, which they called the attic. They casually mentioned that they had misplaced her brain and that it might have been flushed out of the research center directly to Mobius. It was a lot to take in, or out, depending on your perspective. They proceeded to ask her help against Mobius and to stop him with science and recover technologies that Mobius had that they needed. When asked why, her, they said it was because she had the hands that they lacked to get stuff done. Thinking about the whole situation, she agreed to help, since it was at least a way to look around and learn things about how to recover her now missing body parts, and find out how she might escape this horror show, somewhat intact. They added information about the research centers she'd need to visit to her Pip-Boy, but mentioned that sometimes they move, disappear, or blow up. How curious. This all sounded lovely. She couldn't wait. They need schematics for each technology, but bringing back the actual technologies might help more, and who knew, she might get some additional brownie points for additional brown-nosing. They needed the X2 transmitter antenna array, used to focus coherent thought at excessively high frequencies, the psychoanalytic cardiac dampening sneaky stealth suit, and 8's sonic soundwave emitter projecto gun, which is able to broadcast sound at lethal frequencies.
None of that's real.
They wanted fast results and discouraged exploration. More threats and admonishments were issued, which rolled off Laurie like water off a duck's back. She promised herself that she would disobey to the greatest of her abilities and learn all that she could along the way. They then unintentionally cemented her resolve by telling her that their great radar fence surrounding all of the Big MT would disable her and return her to the sink if she got too close to escaping. They also realized that they actually had the sonic projector gun, but needed new frequencies from the X8 facility to load into it. They decontaminated it and gave it to her and explained that it would disable force fields to allow access to secure areas. The possibilities. They also gave her the personality chip for the sink's central intelligence, the map table looking thing. It should provide her biological needs and provide the functionality of a store, too. With that, the robo-brains told her to proceed with her tasks, and they scuttled off to the research stations on the upper balcony. While they were all distracted by their research, Laurie took the time to thoroughly search through the large room and all of the side rooms, appropriating as many supplies as possible to store in the sink against future need. She also found a chemistry bench and made some extra stim packs, and found someone's forgotten glasses. She then scurried back to the sink like the good little lobotomite they imagined her to be. Laurie installed the personality module into the central computer. It started talking to her with a butler-type personality, stating that it could both manage the other devices in the sink and provide commissary services. It could not, however, provide any other honorific than Sir, much to its and her chagrin.
So I'm looking at the map here.
Okay. The map of...
His feedback just cut out all of a sudden. It's supposed to be 15
Oh, I thought it was
minutes long.
done.
No, it's supposed to be 15 minutes. Was that 15? That wasn't 15 minutes. It was
I
going?
think it was close. Yeah,
Was it
it may
really?
have
Okay.
ended a little bit early, though, or maybe that was the wrap. It was,
Maybe
I
that
mean, it
was
was
15
fantastic.
That
I don't
wasn't
have a
15
whole...
minutes. No way.
I don't have a whole lot of commentary on it because I think he covered absolutely everything we could. But yeah, no, it was great. And I'm enjoying the pictures along with, we got a big picture show, this one, from the beginning with the Fiends to Cass and Evie being left
I need
behind.
to go look at those.
Oh, you didn't get it? We even got butt naked pics.
Oh,
his butt's
nice.
somewhat covered. Yeah, we got a whole lot in
Love
there.
the doors, the glowing circle doors. Those are great.
Yeah, and the map of the Big MT is very cool.
Yeah, so I'm looking at the map right now. I brought that up. There are prefixes on some of the locations, X, Y, and Z. Do you know what those stand for? Does that dictate what happens at the building, or is that a coordinates type thing? I don't know. It's like the X7A left field artillery launch, or the
It's just supposed to be
Z43
sciencey.
innovative toxins. I just
Yeah, we were
didn't know
joking
what
about
it
that last
indicates.
week.
X, Y, and Z.
Doesn't indicate anything.
Nothing. Okay.
There's no pattern to it that I can see. I mean, maybe some are
Z
research.
the research maybe. Yeah, I'm trying to tell. I can't really tell.
No, Lee is updating
No.
his own personal map too. Like he's labeling it and he's adding things to it. So as he goes
beautiful.
on, when he's done, he may add more, and we'll get all our Z's, X, Y, Z's, T's crossed, all that.
Cross my. All right. Let's check in with Dustin.
The Diaries of Myra Tenpenny. What the fuck? The stream of constant Brahman discharge that has befell my life since I entered the Mojave is astonishing. The simplest task or idea seems to become a complicated mess of fetching and me ending up in my underwear. In this current adventure is no different. I decided before heading to the Gomorrah that I'd catch a midnight screening of a sci-fi flick, so I unencumbered myself, taking only my spacesuit cosplay and, a pair of jeans to change into afterwards. And you'll never guess what happened next. I happened to interact with a satellite projector, and I woke up once again in my underwear, cheeks hanging out, looking at a totally different landscape. The floating TV screens call it Big Mountain, but it's even more of a shithole than Freeside. And I haven't even gotten to the part where they took my brain, my spine, and my heart. But that's all inconsequential at this point. As per usual, I need to go get a bunch of stuff for the floating screens so they can then do some more stuff, and then some more stuff, and then maybe I can get my brain back and go home. Yeah, I don't sound crazy at all. Well, I guess I better get my penis feet in gear. I'll check in again at some point. Oh my. Judging from previous entries, I must introduce myself. This is Dala. Oh, this is most interesting. It seems my little teddy bear has been keeping records of her transcredible exploits. Not all too different from our science journals. I like this teddy bear, even though she refuses to expel fluids in front of me. So I will help with this diary that I imagine she writes with her little meaty fingers. This teddy bear, this teddy bear, has been very capable. Although she did spend a lot of time in my colleague's high school test area. And for some unknown reason, removing force fields with the sonic emitter She picked up all the little dinosaur toys off the shelf. I'm noting this down. Might be an erotic thing. After she finished up an X8, that fool Dr. Mobius released his horrible scorpions to try to tear her soft, fleshy teddy bear body apart. But my little teddy bear had a surprise. She emerged with a Saturnite fist and began to pound the Robo-Scorpion stingers into the ground. How exhilarating. Another observation. Once my little teddy bear got the auto dock up and running, she noticed that there was an appearance changer. She departed immediately to fight the program, tearing through everything in her way, just pounding and pounding and pounding.
Oh my.
When she returned, she got a different haircut. And I believe she said something to the effect of, "Pasty Myra is dead?" I did not know my little teddy bear had pastries. Oh my goodness. It seems my little teddy bear is heading back this way. I better exit and make my way back to the think tank. I would hate to be outside of the aggression dampener field. When she shows up, she might yell at me with all those muscles in her mouth moving. Ta-ta now. Hi. It's Myra. Apparently I have to introduce myself in my own diary. I don't really have anything to add to that mess. I may have to redact some of this at some point. But anyway, I'm going to rest. Then I'm going to head out to Higgs Village to get one of the personality discs for the jukebox so I can finish upgrading the sonic emitter. Listen to me, I sound insane. And then after that, I'll head over and confront Mobius and his damn robot scorpions. Oh, I bet Veronica would be proud of me, though. This Saturnite fist is a hoot. I didn't like having to use energy weapons, but this punching stuff is a great time.
Oh,
Can't wait to take it back to the Mojave.
look at that thing.
But after I get some rest, I'm gonna go shake down 8. I don't know why, but messing with that gibberish-speaking robot and getting him to give me extra stuff, I don't know. I guess it's some kind of subconscious revenge for those dips taking my brain. You know what? I'm not even gonna feel bad about it. But me or one of these floating TV screens, or maybe a lobotomite, or maybe a rad scorpion might check in next time. See you later.
Hope it's a robo scorpion. What is this gun he's holding on the left here? What is that one called?
So, well, the fist is a Saturnite fist. As far as the gun he's got,
That's the K9000.
yeah,
The
that's the one that you're
K9000, okay.
given if you don't use energy weapons.
That's so neat looking.
It's awesome. So, yeah, enjoyed the pictures along with that. The Dr. Dalla appearance was very, very unexpected, Rando. That was, that was a very good Dr. Dalla there. She's very into her teddy bears. And the punching, so much punching. Really fun. I also like the whole pasty Myra is dead. I see Myra got a makeover for sure. She is
Pastries.
much more tan. Mm-hmm. Yeah, some great pics along with that and really fun feedback.
The robo dogs are hurting. Poor puppies.
Oh, the gun itself, the K9000 has a dog brain. Yes, that's why it's called K9, K9000.
Okay, 9,000. That's funny.
Mm-hmm. So they're making cyber dogs and cyber dog guns, which
Poor puppies.
actually I feel kind of bad about that when you think about it. Like the puppy just wants to run. Like, yeah, I don't know. I haven't played with it yet. Does that talk to you too? It seems like everything in this DLC talks to you.
Does it bark when you shoot it?
Oh, it whimpers when you put it away. Oh, it enjoys being played with. That's so cute. Also, Higgs Village. So I haven't been there yet. I know that's where the scientist is from. Was that named after like the Dr. Higgs who did like the Higgs boson particle and stuff?
Yeah, the Higgs particle, right?
Yeah, most likely.
Okay. Makes sense. Because he was he was the guy that talked about the Higgs field and that gives things mass and stuff. That would make sense for a lot of this.
Very good, very good. Thank you so much, Dustin. What do we call him? We don't call him Dustin. Rando?
Rando. It's like you call him whichever. You call them both tonight.
Yeah, beautiful. Thank you for your feedback, sir. Let's check in and see what Calm Horizons and Nicky are up to this week.
Hey there, Fallout feed. This is Matt, Calm Horizons on the Discord, and with me again I've got Nicky. Say hi, Nicky.
Hi, Nicky.
All right, so this time we are talking about The Big Empty. I have been having a blast in this DLC. It's very funny. It's very charming. Like, I want to go to all the places and do all of the things. I have really been enjoying my time. But as usual, I'm going to just, hit a couple of the highlights of what I've been doing so far. So, Ray talked about make sure that you get Dr. Mobius's glasses because it's +2 intelligence and plus something to explosives. I don't care about the explosives, but I did really want the skill explosives.
There's a skill called explosives?
Yeah, to help you do more damage with explosives.
How do glasses help with explosives? Exactly.
Because they're Dr. Mobius's glasses. So, I wanted to get these glasses, and Ray's all, just make sure you go in the door at the top and you can go get the glasses. And looking up where they are, it's same thing, go on the top right door. That door is locked. That door is locked with an advanced lock. I don't have any lock picking. I can't even open easy locks. So no Dr. Mobius glasses for me, but oh well.
Sucks to be you, I guess.
Sucks to be me. I can repair it. I can repair it at 100. Anyway, the other thing I wanted to talk about was stealth. Like in general, but especially in Big MT, I feel like everything can see me. I can't sneak up to anything. I talked about this morning in the Discord. It's just, it seems like stealth is just useless to me. And I compare it to my experience in Fallout 3. In Fallout 3, with the 100 sneak, I could sneak right in front of somebody and they wouldn't see me. But I can be like 30 yards away and then the caution pops up that they're like, wait, what was that? And I was in a cave where the lobotomites live, and they were hearing me around the corner. They didn't even have to see me. I have 100 sneak, and they're detecting me. Anyway, whatever. So it's fine because I'm doing fine. Like, I don't need to be sneaking. I'm destroying things with my superheated Saturnite fist. But
oh, you got a new weapon?
I wish that this skill that I have 100 points in actually mattered, but oh well, whatever. Yes, you get it from the Big MT, from the toaster that you find the personality for. He wants to burn the world down, but he also teaches me how to burn things with my fist. And it has been, I really like the superheated Saturnite fist because yes, it does a ton of damage, of course, but also it swings so fast. And
is it like the shish kebab? But
no, it's gauntlet? Like, yes, actually, yes, functionally. But it's really like a power fist. It's also classed as a holdout weapon. So I can sneak it into casinos, which is crazy.
Punch Benny with it.
What?
I love it. It's a great weapon. And then the last thing I wanted to talk about was in doing my exploration. I found the bunker where the Cazadors were created. And down at the bottom of that is Species 38 or whatever it was. Species something or other. The King Cazador. That was such a jump scare for me because I opened the door and there's like nothing in this room. And then this giant Cazador comes flying at me from around the corner. Kind of like a wasp, like a big wasp, but like very large, right? Like dog-sized wasp, except this one was more like car-sized wasp. Anyway, I kill this thing, and it has some piece of equipment on it. I can't remember what it was called, but it's a thing that gives me HP regeneration and +1 endurance, and it's something I can wear. And so I'm like, oh, okay, well, I wonder what slot. I don't even know what this is. I wonder what slot it goes in. So I click it to equip it, and it didn't replace anything. I'm still wearing my hat and my glasses and my armor, and now also this thing. And then I saw third person with VATS, there's just this like energy bubble around my head. I don't know what this thing is, but I'll take the HP regeneration. You know, I'm playing on hardcore, so it has been quite helpful. Anyway, so I have been loving the DLC. As far as actual progress goes, the only like main story thing I've done is I have gotten the sonic emitter modification that makes it bring down the force fields. So I've done that in X8, but I still have to do everything else. But I found all the personalities and some of the implants and stuff. So yeah, it's been really fun, having a blast. This has been a real treat. I agree with Suliore. This is easily my favorite DLC so far, though we haven't gone to Lonesome Road yet. But yeah, so been a lot of fun. That's going to do it. Nikki?
Bye, Nikki.
Bye, Nikki.
See you guys in the wasteland.
What? Tell me about this fucking bubble thing. That sounds great. Do we have any idea what this is? Ray, have you run into this before?
No, I tend to avoid cazadors at all costs. So I did not go to the land of cazadors.
I too have not been to the land of cazadors or carzadors, if they're that large.
Yeah, carzadors. Goddamn. I know how hard cazadors are in the normal wasteland. I know how hard just general things are in this wasteland. That just compounds things times, right? So it's like they're going to be quadruple hard, right? These cazadors are going to be like, I don't even know if I want to fuck with it, but
it's
that
fantastic.
Halo sounds great.
HP
HP regeneration is a must, but you can't get do they have that one where he's standing up with his hands like Jesus, life giver? Is that in this one where you can get a skill that gives you slow regeneration of life, HP outside of combat or whatever?
Yeah, there's headgear that you get in the big empty that gives you regeneration.
Isn't that what he's talking about? This bubble thing?
No,
that's something different. There's another headpiece. Interesting. Well, he said it didn't replace his helmet though. I want this energy bubble face thing. That'll be great.
Okay, the atomic valence triradiolocitor.
Say that 3 times fast.
AKA the bubble. Yeah, I like his shorthand a little better.
Yeah. The Carzador bubble.
Yeah, so there's a few of these. This one is the one that looks most like the headgear from the Children of Adam.
Oh, that's fun.
You know, with the 3 circles. The ones I got were all 1 circles. But they have the same effect. So +1 endurance plus health regeneration.
And is this gear that you can take back to the general wasteland, or is this stuck here for some reason? No, you can take it back.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, neat, fun.
But it does take up a hat slot. So if you're wearing the first recon beret for the crit chance, you're going to lose that.
And you mentioned the other regenerative effect, the monocyte breeder. I guess they can be used together too. It does sound like a pretty cool thing to get some serious regeneration. But I just want to say I am totally with Matt on the vibe of Old World Blues. You know, the characters, the personalities, they had a blast making this, and I mean, it shows. You know, it kind of leads to us having a blast playing it for sure.
Yeah.
I play with Sound Off generally. Is there a new radio station for Old World Blues?
No. Yeah, I don't know that there's a different, but you definitely have new songs.
New songs in the regular, not
just in the soundtrack.
Nice.
A lot more jazz.
Not blues.
Also,
not blues.
Yeah, not blues.
The idea that the Saturnite Fist is a holdout weapon too. That's pretty hilarious. Funny. You know,
Saturnite Fist.
And the toaster is such a crazy character.
Well, especially because they talk about toasters giving,
You can feed him toasters. So he's totally a cannibal.
Toaster eating toasters.
No wonder you like him.
What kind of is he actually a big toaster?
No, he's a regular sized toaster.
A regular sized toaster
on the counter, yeah.
And you give it smaller toasters or the same size toasters? How does it eat a toaster its same size?
I think it's just purely by attitude. I don't think he'd care if it was a 4-slice toaster.
Oh, he would get a bigger toaster even. He's going for the air fryer next. Watch out.
So, he's a lot. They all are, really.
Oh, classic. All right. Thank you, Nicky, and thank you, Calm Horizons. Classic as always. Let's check in with John the Shoveler.
Hello, everyone. This is John the Shoveler with Butch Caudle's feedback for Old World Blues.
Oh, the Halo.
I didn't get far in this round, mostly because I was sidetracked with playing 76 on my new PC, which I really enjoy. But anyway, so to this... after talking with the think tank, Butch heads out to find the holotapes for the various gadgets in the sink in that room. He first runs into some lobotomites, night stalkers, and robo dogs. So I'm finding out that at least for Butch, the lobotomites shoot faster and hit harder with the rifles than the enemies in the Mojave. Again, just what I feel is going on there. It's just they're shooting and it's taking out more health than usual. Anyway, it could be that Eddie is great at protecting Butch more than I thought he would, because you can't bring him along with you. So Butch, he tries that K9 Cyberdog gun that he gets, but I think since Butch's heavy guns is pretty low, he shoots pretty much around bars and not into them, so he misses pretty much every dog. It just can't hit him. So he switches to that gun, and he does much better. That gun only holds like 5 rounds, but I think since Butch has the rapid reload perk, he's pretty quick at reloading and firing that thing off, so he hits much better with that. So after dealing with those first enemies, Butch begins exploring toward one of the map markers and finds the magneto-hydraulic complex, and then after entering, it triggers the Wild Wasteland event, or a Wild Wasteland event. Just inside the door, there's what says it's a walking eye, and I had to look this one up, and I guess it's referring to the walking eyes from Venture Brothers, and I guess Venture Brothers is paying homage or something to Johnny Quest, and they both have these walking eye robots with these long spindly legs. Yeah, spindly legs. They look kind of like daddy long legs. But the robot here, the iRobot, it doesn't. The legs are just short and kind of stubby. So I guess they're just paying homage to that. Guess they've got this in here because the voice of Dr. Zero or Dr. O is the same voice actor for Dr. Venture. I haven't watched the Venture Brothers, so I don't know what he sounds like. I did watch the original Johnny Quest when I was a kid, and yeah, I remember those those walking iRobot things. And then Butch also picks up the holotape, and I think it's for that sink in that one room with the planners. And then around here is this thing called a mysterious cave. You go into it, and I think it's a waste of time for me because there's a legendary bloatfly. It's glowing green, and it killed Butch like 3 times. He's finally able to take it out, but when he took it out, he was only able to get like 52 bloatfly meat, 11 drain MF cells, 12 buff out, and 17 psycho, and 26 empty syringes. So I don't know. I think unless you're really into chems, I don't know if it's really worth it much to go into that spot. After traveling around some more, Butch ends up at the Higgs village and picks up some. He finds some more holotapes for like the book depository and one of the light switches, and I think the auto dock in the house is in there. He also finds the spike. I'll tell you what, the riot shotgun is pretty good at taking Spike down, like shoot and run away and shoot and run away. After finding the holotapes in here, we head out again, and then we find the X8 facility, and then after running through that first test, we walk up to an observation station, which triggers another Wild Wasteland event. And this one is 5 robo-dogs around a table playing poker. Now, in my basement, as I'm playing on my PS3, if I turn to the left and I look at my wall, I see a velvet rug tapestry, whatever, of a velvet rug tapestry of dogs playing poker. It was a gift from my dad to my wife. He said he'd give it to her if when we were dating, if she stuck around for over 6 months, he would give that to her. And she did it, and she absolutely loves that dog's playing poker. So anyway, that's as far as I got on this playthrough. I am enjoying it. It is fun, and I hope everybody else is enjoying it too. So anyway, I guess Butch and I will see you all in the wasteland. Thank you.
I need a velvet dogs playing poker.
Absolutely. I love the cyber dogs playing poker. That is a really cool little setup there. And also he shared a picture of the walking eye and the similarity to the Adult Swim cartoon. That is cool.
I'll have to go look.
But I really enjoy hearing some of Butch's stories. You know, the weapons he's using, what he's discovering. I think it's neat that everybody sees, just some different things about the DLC while going through. You know, that's one thing I love about feedback is highlighting the different things that matter, the locations that really stood out to you, or the creatures. Because goodness knows there are locations and creatures galore in this one.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, and depending on, what your weapon of choice is, there's pretty much something for everybody.
Oh, the Wild Wasteland perk is needed.
Yeah, the cyber dogs, you need the Wild Wasteland. That makes good sense.
Yeah. Otherwise, they're just sitting, classroom style, lined up to the screen.
Subtle little changes.
Yeah, that's great.
It looks like maybe it still has the same screen, which is a woman, petting a dog.
Like that the commands they're learning are stay and kill.
Stay, kill, and belly rub.
I does say the sit above it. Okay, I didn't see the sit. Yeah, that's great. Ready. Thank you, Shoveler. Always appreciated, sir. We do have one more feedback. We have Vanessa. What's up, Vanessa?
Okay, so the drive-in movie theatre at the south end of the Mojave is an obvious trap. But Sterling's curiosity gets the better of him, and so he checks out the promised midnight feature. Waking up on a balcony in a strange location sometime later, he heads straight inside and down some stairs into a large semicircular room, where he's greeted by 5 robotic beings who claim to be doctors or scientists, and inform him that they've removed his brain, spine and heart. Sterling has only middling medical knowledge, but he's pretty sure that this can't be possible. He's not able to pursue this line of questioning or see about getting back to the Mojave, however, as the robots all immediately bicker among themselves and talk over one another. He grunts out the first reply that comes into his head whenever there's a lull in conversation, and then they all start up again. At one point, he's snapped out of his unattentive state when there's a reference to his penis feet, which, well, that's rude, frankly. Sterling's toes are, well, they're quite small. Through his mounting annoyance, he's able to confirm that he's in the big empty, and there's apparently no way out. This is clearly untrue, as he's come across mention of this place in Vault 22, he thinks, and there's certainly been a way out for all the unnatural creatures that these idiots have cooked up in their labs and unleashed upon the Mojave. When they all finally run out of things to say, he tries questioning them individually, but gets no further forward on the pressing matter of getting out of here. They've given him some tasks to do. Perhaps they'll be more forthcoming on how he can get home if he completes some of them. He checks his Pip-Boy and sees a long to-do list. He wishes now that he'd paid more attention to them. He's got no idea which of these things are actually important to his end goal. He puts his armour back on and marches outside. Pipes run from the building across the desert, which is dotted with other buildings. One of his Pip-Boy tasks referred to retrieving something from the X2 antenna, and seeing a satellite dish to the south, he heads off in that direction. At the top of the building, he retrieves the requested antenna, but finds the place crawling with robo-scorpions when he tries to leave. His shotgun and rifle are largely useless against them. The sonic emitter given by the scientists likewise, although at least that sometimes stuns them while he plinks away at them. Once they're down, he checks his Pip-Boy again, but objectives are dotted all over the place. Might as well be methodical as he searches for a way out, so he starts off in a clockwise circuit. This takes him first to an artillery launch site with an enticing big red button to push. He tries to resist, but he can't help himself. Not much happens, which is probably for the best. On the plus side, after taking out a couple of sentry bots, he acquires an LAER laser rifle. There's probably a way to say that so that it trips off the tongue more easily. It doesn't exactly make short work of the robo-scorpions, but it's his best option, even with his poor energy weapon skill. Unfortunately, it's also just about the least durable weapon he's ever owned. Next up, Research Building X13. He heads inside to recover 3 pieces of stealth armour. The terminal directs him to try it out by retrieving some documents from a safe. He has to use the sonic emitter to deal with a couple of robo-brains, but otherwise it's straightforward enough. The emitter seems more useful against the robots than the scorpions. Moving on, his hopes are briefly raised when he comes across a tunnel, but it's sadly blocked. Beyond that is what seems to be a prisoner of war camp, deserted now apart from a couple of ghouls, and then a more built-up area of shiny futuristic buildings, unfortunately swarming with night stalkers, but at least these can be dealt with good old-fashioned lead. The buildings soon give way to narrow passageways running through the rocks. At the end of one, he finds what seems to be the source of the murderous plants and spore people he found in Vault 22, including its original Patient Zero. He passes another collapsed tunnel, fights off several scorpions and Mr. Gutses that materialise as soon as he turns to leave the said tunnel, past a loading area with a batch of lobotomites to be taken care of, and then a Securitron deconstruction plant, with several of the things patrolling around outside. His laser rifle is nearly disintegrated by this point, and he reluctantly uses a repair kit on it. He bypasses the DNA splicing lab, but not before being attacked by bloody cazadors. He might have known they originated here as well. And just as he's taunted by yet another blocked tunnel, he begins to take stock of the weight of all the stuff he's accumulated. He heads back to his temporary quarters, installs some of the upgrades he's acquired, and sets about repairing, buying and selling in readiness for heading out again, but not before healing himself up at the newly repaired autodock. So that's it. Feedback's just a bit of a list of places, really. Hard to say how far through it I am. I've just been going around casually, which has been made it quite a bit more enjoyable than last time I played it, where I was just trying to hit every objective and pick up every single thing. Sterling's level 34 now, so I think I've gained about 4 levels, definitely 3 anyway so far in the DLC. So going well, and I'll see you all in the Wasteland. Bye.
God damn, all you people are in your high 30s, 40s. It was like, is level cap, 40 now, we said? Or 50? 50. Yeah.
Yeah, there's still plenty of headroom there, and it is tougher, as we know, so it's not a bad thing to be a higher level. I've really enjoyed
great.
Sterling's story there. There's some kind of funny stuff. I like the fact that, she brings up the fact that Sterling doesn't have a lot of medical knowledge, but he's quite sure that it's not possible they took his brain, spine, and heart. And I kind of agree with him. I mean, I know it's advanced science here, but it seems a bit ridiculous. I also like the methodically going around in a clockwise circle. That seems like a good way to tackle it. Another good thing about that, although it does take you to the Cazadors pretty early on, is that your objectives for the story, the X2, X8, X13, like those are mostly on the south and southwest, right? South and west. So it's a great way to hit other locations on your way to the main ones.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say all this toe penis commentary. It got a little bit talkative in chat there, and it made me realize catch a tiger by his toe would have a very different meaning in this DLC.
Don't even.
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
In the open-toed shoes. Come on. Gross.
Socks with sandals. Toe condoms.
All right. So, what percentage of the nightmarish monsters in the general wasteland originated here in the Big MT? Like, it seems like Cazadors and whatever the snake dogs are, and
the Night Stalkers and the Spore Carriers. Yeah, Night
Spore
Stalkers and snake
Carriers,
dogs.
right?
Yep. Yeah, all kinds of them.
Let's see, but not Death Claws, right? That was somewhere else.
Nope, not Death Claws. They're OGs or Bloatflies or Cyber. Did Cyberdogs start here? They might have, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cyberdogs, there you go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, lots of good stuff here in the Big. Always enjoy Vanessa's feedback.
And, two notable other DLC characters passed through here.
Right. Yeah.
So,
Mailman Mike came through earlier. No, sorry, that's Pee-wee's Playhouse. Sorry.
Is Cowboy Carl coming by too?
Cowboy Carl would fit right in New Vegas. He
would be perfect.
Yeah. So the Brotherhood of Steel, their contribution with Father Elijah,
mm-hmm.
who you find his where he created the explosive collars is here.
Andy doesn't know about the collars yet. Don't tell him about the collars.
Show.
He's excited.
And then also, Ulysses, who managed to get through the barrier to get in here, and then
without
also
being
get out.
lobotomized.
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
And also get out. So
I'd say Ulysses is clever, but he already knows that, so I don't want to give him the compliment. Yeah, these last two DLC. Gosh, I'm excited. We're not going to be there for a little while yet. We're finishing Old World Blues, and then we got Lonesome Road, and we got Dead Money.
Dead Money.
And you get the story kind of in reverse, but fun.
All right. Always good to watch a prequel after a successful run of movies. All right, let's see. That was our last batch of feedback, but we got a little bit of game time. So let's play a couple games real quick, and then we'll roll into some news.
What time is it? Game time!
So I've got a real quick game here. It is Friday the 13th. So, spooky, unlucky. We've got our Jason Voorhees with the Friday the 13th Hockey Mask Killer Slasher series, Friday the 13th movie. Also, this is the week of St. Patrick's Day, which, here in the United States, our Irish culture loves to be celebrated with lots of green beer, and our Indianapolis Canal was dyed today. There was the whole the parade and all that. So we've got a little, and it's known for. I almost ignorantly pulled bagpipes. Bagpipes are specifically Scotland, are they? are they? They're not Irish at all, are they? Are they only Scotland? Glad I caught myself that.
They're elsewhere, but
are they really?
You said this is Fife based. This is Fife based.
So this is. Okay, so we've got yes, there you go. Some Fife.
Got some Fifes on tap.
That almost sounds like colonial American fife, though. That doesn't sound like Irish fife to me. What are we doing?
No, it's the British Grenadiers song.
Oh, very nice. So today on Game Time, our first little game here is going to be Fiferish the 13th. So I'm going to play a sound, and you have to tell me, did this sound come from the sound effect of a horror movie?
Okay.
Or is it an Irish fife band?
Well, we just had a fife sample, so we got this.
All right, you guys, there's no way you can fail. All right, so first here, Ray. Okay, is this a horror movie or a fife? Okay, Ray, what you got here?
Yeah, there's nothing scary about that. That's got to be a fife.
Oh, I'm so sorry. That is incorrect. That is a horror movie to me. Jess, okay, next. Jess, you're up. Okay, is this a horror movie or a fife?
Obviously. Hey, Mr. Donut Head Man, he's trying to kill you. That is definitely a horror movie.
Oh, God, you guys are so bad at this. That's totally a fight. You're just
not again.
You guys are the worst at this game. All right, so that was our very first edition of Fiferish.
Is that the sound they make when you play a fife backwards or what?
Yes, that's exactly what happens. Could you imagine if Jason Voorhees was out there fifing in the woods? Be a way better movie.
Hard to bagpipe in that hockey mask, just saying.
Oh, God, that'd be the best. He sticks the little reed up through one of the holes. Oh, man. Okay, so that was a quick, silly game of celebrating Friday the 13th. And does it happen often that they're
Fiferish the 13th, you mean?
Fiferish, yes, my favorite holiday.
Wow.
Are you guys Irish at all? You guys have any Irish in you?
Since they're only 4 days apart, they're pretty much always in the
same week,
same 7-day period.
Exactly. I mean, I'm pretty Irish in my background. Yeah.
Are you?
Yeah. Good 30%. Yeah, my grandma was full Irish.
Full Irish. Yeah. You got any good Irish traditions you get into? You drinking any green beer? Eating any weird? Is there weird Irish food I don't know about? Like Scotland's got the haggis. What's the haggis of Ireland? You always hear potatoes, but that's so boring. What they got?
Yeah, not that I know of.
Last week I made my double and coddle. So
that's right. You were talking about a stew of some kind, right? It was a beer
with sausage and potatoes and Guinness beer.
That sounds good to me. Like I usually don't dig on that, but that sounds pretty darn good.
Yeah, I mean it's just all the traditional stuff, cabbage, soda bread.
Oh fuck, I love
brown
cabbage.
bread. Stew.
When you put the leftovers in the fridge, there's a puck of delicious fat floating on the top.
Oh, right. Yeah. What you said soda bread and brown bread. I don't know if I know what soda bread and brown
they're
bread
just they're just darker. They're darker brown bread. It's an Irish bread. I don't know much about
pumpernickel bread. That's
the recipe a bit, but I mean sometimes there's beer in it and stuff, as you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can go for some dark bread. They have this bread in Germany that it's literally just seeds. They don't even grind them up or anything. They're just like pressed into a sheet. It's really hilarious.
And Irish soda bread is quick bread.
What's that mean?
There's no leavening. There's no yeast.
Oh, so it's like a flat bread.
A lot of the good bread, there's no yeast. Yeah,
I love that shit. Like naan or whatever, right?
I also have to say Irish cream, technically not made in Ireland, but very popular.
What, like in your coffee? Like the alcohol?
Irish cream, your Bailey's, Ryan's.
I assume it's whiskey or something
with whiskey-based whiskey cream. You can do it a couple ways, but that's the traditional way. Have you ever made homemade Irish cream? Oh, I love it. It's really good. Yeah.
Not a ton of whiskey in our house. But are you... That's
not a lot of cream in mine. So
yeah, there's that's so
never
funny.
The twain shall meet, except for in my tummy, apparently.
All right. Well, happy St. Patrick's Day out there to all who celebrate. And reminder, it is not St. Patty's Day. It is St. Paddy's Day with 2 D's. I don't know why, but it certainly matters. And there's always a post that floats around the internet by Irish people saying how ignorant Americans are who say St. Patty's Day. So don't make that mistake because Irish people will shame you.
Yeah, just be proper and say Patrick.
St. Patrick's Day.
Definitely love to celebrate. Back in the day, you used to try to do an all-day celebration. You start doing the pub crawl early afternoon.
Oh, good Lord. I've never done that.
Do it like a fresh. Oh, you haven't?
No.
Oh, yeah. No, it's traditional here, a couple of pubs where we often go and spend the day.
But not this year. Midwest, we're so German Polish. Like there's Irish is like Boston, and the East Coast is very, very Irish.
Yeah, that's what I think that's probably why I grew up with it a bit more.
Beautiful. All right, wear green so people don't pinch you. God, that's such a weird tradition. Let's roll into our next game. Another quick game here. Jess, I was really happy to hear you mention we were discussing feedback. You're like, oh, and then you have to go way down south over here to get to this one thing. I was like, aha, she's been talking about the map. Everyone close your goddamn Discords because Lee posted maps. Jeez,
I won't cheat.
No cheatings. No cheatings on Mojappalachia for Big MT. All right, so we'll do a quick round of Mahapalachia, revolving around Old World Blues. Let's go to the Big MT. All right, so let's go Jess. We got north, south, east, and west, of course. Let's go north. Which is further north, the Sink or the Botanical Gardens? The X22 Botanical Gardens, not to be confused with any of the other lettered botanical gardens. The Sink or the Botanical
Jess
Gardens?
first.
Jess first.
The Sink is further north than the X22.
I am so sorry, Jess.
Really? I thought it was just a little lower.
Ray.
It's about what, 10 o'clock?
It's 1:10
right.
1:10 a.m.
9:46.
Further south, Ray. Think Tank or the Cuckoo's Nest? Think Tank.
Gosh, I didn't go to the Cuckoo's Nest, but yeah, I'm gonna go Cuckoo's Nest.
Cuckoo's Nest is further south. Good job, Ray. Jess, back to you. Further east, the Z14 Pepsine DNA Splicing Lab, or the Z9 Crotalus DNA Preservation Lab.
Beautiful, but we're going with the Pepsine.
Pepsine DNA, yes. You are correct.
That's where the Cazadors live, Andrew.
Oh, fuck. All right, giant Cazador getting the bubble face. Ray, back to you, sir. Furthest west, do we have the Z43 Innovative Toxins Plant or the X66 Hexcrete Archipelago?
Ugh.
It's all you, Ray.
So I didn't go to either one of them. I'll go with the, what was it, X43?
The Z43 Innovative Toxins Plant?
Yeah.
Is not correct. I am so sorry. The X66 Hexcrete Archipelago is slightly further west. What is hexcrete? Is that a different kind of concrete that's like hexagonal, like shaped like honeycomb that makes it super strong or something?
Yeah, that makes good sense.
That's
it's
awesome.
Definitely a super strong, six-sided concrete molecule.
Yeah.
Hexcrete.
Bees make that fucking super strong shape. Awesome. Thanks for playing Mojappalachia for the Big MT.
And for anyone confused on the times, we were talking the cardinal directions on the clock. So 12 o'clock being north, 3 being east, 9 being west. But yeah.
Then I made a joke about it being 1:10 a.m. because that is the accurate local time, what it is right now.
Yeah, East Coast time.
Sorry, guys. We're being silly. All right, that was game time for this week.
What time is it? Game time!
That's what time it was, not is it. All right, let's roll into some iguana bits.
Jessica, to the office, please. Jessica, to the office. Your iguana bits are ready. Please come pick them up. Fallout 76, a game that we all play, or once played. A game that is ever evolving.
Who? None of us play it anymore.
Some might say mutating, even. But yeah, Fallout 76 is up for an award. And, I always love to hear it. But if I were to go over to Twitter right now and just double check that,
and there was much rejoicing.
Yeah, a well-deserved reward for the BAFTA Game Awards. That's the British, the British awards. What is it? Is it the British Academy of Film and Theater? Film, television,
theatrical arts, or television.
There
arts?
you go, theatrical arts. Yeah. So it is one of the 6 nominees for Evolving Game, which is awesome because I've said for years they should be getting the ongoing game. Usually goes to some bigger live service games, but 76 definitely deserves it, the labor of love.
Or No Man's Sky.
Yeah, No Man's Sky has gotten it a number of times.
It
Absolutely.
Should. They do a lot of effort into that game.
They do deserve it. And I'm glad they got the nomination. But also, 76 is the kind of game that is ever evolving as far as the 1 step forward, 2 steps back. So I mentioned that there were some issues after the last update, as there often are. So hotfix coming in, patch coming in Tuesday, you guys. Obviously, Tuesdays are update day quite often. This is going to be a big one, fixing a few things. So one of the things that changed in the update was the way the Pip-Boy works. It's faster. They've added a few new sections to it.
Uh-oh.
So they are doing some improvements to the Pip-Boy, shortcuts, able to close it. Yeah, they're changing some of the buttons for a few things on PC where it wasn't working well on the updates. You might actually like it if you go in. So it actually makes a lot of sense. You just make sure you read people who are like, my Pip-Boy doesn't work. Just read the prompts at the bottom when it tells you what.
Because I do all that by muscle memory. I know most people do that now too. Like, oh my god, you're messing with my button mapping, and you're gonna drive me nuts.
But there are extra buttons now, so it's not going to screw with your button mapping too much. But there are extra things you can do.
So now it's RTFP.
Yeah, exactly. Read the freaking Pip-Boy. Exactly.
You said RTFP. I'm looking at my keyboard like, is that a new ASD?
It was the WASD.
WASD. Is that a new WASD? And I was like, wait a second. That doesn't
No, it's RTFM.
RTFP.
It's
read the fucking manual.
Muffin flipping manual. Yeah, but what's the P in yours? Is it Pip-Boy or prompt?
Pip-Boy, right?
Pip-Boy, yeah.
Sweet. Well, they are also... They are changing the keybind for the season menu pop-up from Control to Y because a lot of people using Control to map other things. You don't want to have it constantly popping stuff up on you. But guess what? Your emotes, your loot bags, your survival tents that are being reset every time you log in, they are fixing that too. Because we lost them all. The emotes coming off the wheel. Our loot bags were going from our fine lunch pails and flaming bags of whatever. And, all those fun little things you can use. They were just all turning into paper bags. And you may have noticed, too, when you're playing, especially like in a daily op or a raid, this and that, you're getting a lot of the waiting for response from server message. People aren't getting kicked much more than usual, but it's coming up, and it's very scary. So they're going to fix all that. They're going to try to roll back a lot of the little bugs going on there. Right now, it is currently Invaders from Beyond. That's going to keep on going until the 24th. So we've got still a week and a half of Invaders from Beyond. They've done some fun things with it. General Zeta was dropping some 4-star legendaries for a bit.
That's cool. I'll take a 4-star legendary.
Right? Just like he did Glowing Mask for a while. They've got this new thing.
Doesn't Bigfoot drop the 4 stars?
Yes, Bigfoot and Party Crashers can do the 4 stars, but they're doing a special thing. It's not every event. I think it's something they can turn on and off. But my headcanon on this is that the aliens, they collect things. They don't just probe, they also collect. So that's why he's got all these cool artifacts.
Yeah.
Yeah, makes perfect sense, right?
Like the Brotherhood of Space.
So also in the world of Fallout, here's a little fun little shout I wanted to do. If you're in the area of California, Anaheim, California, and you're going to WonderCon this year, it's just, I think it's a convention kind of in the same place where they hold Comic-Con. Anyway, there's going to be a really fun panel. Not that any listeners are going, but if you are, Legal Geeks are doing a fun panel. And I closed that window to pull up the BAFTA thing. It's called The Okie Dokie Law of the Wasteland. It's being put on by a group called Legal Geeks. And they're having a U.S. magistrate a judge,
That's
a
hilarious.
couple of licensed legal practitioners, and they are going to sit and they're going to debate what's the state of the law after nuclear war? How could the Enclave be held accountable for starting the Great War 200 years later? What's the liability for Vault-Tec, Robco, Westech, Repcon, and Big MT for their part in ending the world? Such a fun idea for a panel. I hope they record it, and if they do, I will definitely try to share some of it with y'all if I can find that.
Do all of the experts also have familiarity with the Fallout universe?
The people they're bringing on specifically would, yeah.
Okay.
Now,
because if they didn't, that could get kind of dry. But in the context of the Fallout universe, then yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the person moderating with Legal Geeks, obviously he does, and I'm sure that some of the panelists they brought on specifically because of that, and the others would have at least a past familiarity with the show, at least, right?
Yeah, I would suggest at least watching a few episodes of the show to get a feel of stuff.
Speaking of conventions, if you're going to AwesomeCon this weekend too, which I believe is in the Washington D.C. area, word has it Shea Gorath is going to be there and a bunch of people. So it's. I mean, he does it regularly. AwesomeCon's one of his regular locations, but yeah, I heard there are going to be a number of Fallout actors there at AwesomeCon.
That's fun.
Yeah, and we are a month and a half away from the Fallout Wasteland Jamboree, as they're calling it. That's going to be early May, so people are getting excited for sure, and all the
Where's that
cosplay
one?
groups and such.
Is that the one out in Good Springs?
It's in Sutton. So the fan celebration. This is the East Coast partner from that one. So they're now doing them twice a year. Still, it's the same group putting them on, but it's going to be Wasteland Jamboree here and Mojave Mayhem out there. So they're kind of giving them specific names for each fan celebration, just like PAX went from PAX to like PAX East, PAX West, all that. Doing the same thing here.
Gotcha.
They're bi-coastal.
Spreading all over. Surprising not Boston.
I may have buried the lead a little bit for some of us.
Uh-oh.
But for those people who, might not be playing Genesis right now and actually want their game to update, there's some good Starfield news in the works. Starfield stuff happening, moving and shaking. So we've known for a bit that the update's coming. We know Todd talked about how they're moving focus from Fallout to Starfield again, as far as what they're promoting, talking about this and that in that interview. And we knew rumors were saying that there might be a soft date for the embargo about what's happening. They're actually going to finally announce it around March 17th. That was the one that came from, I believe it was Bill Kuhn was talking about that, who found some information about the Starfield stuff on various forums and possible pricing, for the game on PlayStation. The fact that it looks like it's probably going to be $49.99 in the US on PlayStation. So dropping Starfield to $50 for that, which means it'll also drop to $50 on Xbox for people who don't have it via Game Pass. Currently it's $60. So that would be a $10 price cut for us. Price cut for PlayStation when it comes there. If it does, still not announced, but the assumption is that it will. Okay, that's all leak stuff.
And if it's on Steam sale, you can get it and then load Genesis.
Yes, you can do that too. It's true. But so that was going to be the 17th or 19th was the rumor, with an estimated release date of April 7th. So these are the rumors. However, we didn't have a whole lot of, solid concrete evidence, even though there was some stuff, that backed it up. Well, this week, not only was it GDC Game Developers Conference, where a whole lot of game devs and media and stuff like that were out on the West Coast for GDC, but Bethesda Game Studios flew a couple people into the mothership, into the headquarters, as they are wont to do for big demos, and they showed them Starfield, the update. So we know Greg Miller was there, Juicehead was there, Renfail, who is a Starfield streamer, was there. A number of other people. We don't know who all was, but they said we were here. We got something to show. We'll be able to talk about it soon. So I am excited to have that happen. I'm curious about the latest build too, because I have seen some stuff about it, but things may have changed in the last 5 months too. So yeah, excited to find out. And we're like, okay, so if this is happening, maybe it really is the 17th, the 19th. Maybe they really will talk about it next week. Well, earlier today, PC Gamer posted an article in which they're talking to Einon Zur, the composer. And as the pullout quote, they said, Starfield's composer says the game will become legendary. He says, Todd Howard's a visionary, and maybe you were just not ready for it. Talking about Starfield. And they're casting a little bit of shade with that. You can kind of tell, like the whole, like, haha, he's saying, guys weren't ready for it. It's not that the game, wasn't great, which it was great. So, I'm with Einon Zur on it. Okay. But Bethesda replied to this article publicly. And they said, we ran this by Todd. And he said his only visionary power is seeing running lanes in EA College Football 26. Editorial note. Todd is a huge fan of EA Madden College Football. Right there. He loves it. So anyway, he appreciates all the passionate feedback on Starfield, and we'll have more to share next week. So y'all, from the BGS mouth, we're going to learn about the Starfield update next week. And I'm thinking it's probably going to be Tuesday. Tuesday or Thursday.
Where'd Todd graduate from?
I don't remember. But hey, he was in the chess club. Oh, love it. I'm happy we have news. I'm happy people got to see. We're gonna get a lot of information out there. So looking forward to that. And of course, you don't have to update and you can play Genesis. But no, now's the time. If you want to, if you're playing with a bunch of mods, go through the Unity or start a new character. Get ready to check it out with fewer mods because we don't know how much is going to break when this comes out. But the assumption is a lot.
Well, all of it.
Yeah. If you're on PC, all of it. If you're on, if you're just using creations, some of it.
Yeah. If you're using creations, it won't be as bad. But lock it down, keep it safe.
Lock it down.
After the fact, eventually it'll be back to
sounds like he's going into a fallout shelter. Lock it down.
He's
keep
all
it safe.
Gandalf
You can
and Bilbo.
reemerge 50 years from now.
Keep it secret.
Yeah.
Keep it safe.
But yeah, I mean, it will be interesting to see. And since I have multiple computers, I'll be able to check it out on a different computer that isn't running Genesis. So
that has room for it, but not the one running Novus.
Well, that's going to take a whole new drive.
So you get more storage, yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm excited. I just wanted to share with y'all. It was a very exciting day today, getting that news. As you can imagine, the girl was incredibly, incredibly excited.
Yeah, in order to keep my bright, sunny outlook on things, I am ignoring all, potential news and will not, become excited about anything except for
absolutely
actual update.
Yes.
And patch notes, and change log.
Mm-hmm.
Not even when they announce that it's coming. I don't care.
Nope. Not till you see it.
Till it actually is, bits on the drive.
See, people sometimes ask, Jess, why don't you see the red flags with some of these updates? And I say, because I wear rose-tinted glasses, and technically they're red. Rose-tinted glasses are red filtering, so I don't see red flags. I just see flags. It's all good. Red flags mean go.
Yeah.
Flags
Cheers.
mean go. The one with the skull and crossbones means, come on, sister.
I love it. But speaking of things I love and am actually excited about that are happening, C3 is happening tomorrow and Sunday. That's the 14th and 15th. We talked about the last couple of weeks. C3 is the mod convention. Schedules are posted up. If you just search online, C3 Community Creations Con, you'll come up with it. Or, of course, if you check my socials, the Independent Fallout Wiki socials and such. But we're going to be showing Skywind. Actually, what's great is after I'm doing the interview with the Fallout Wiki people, and we're talking the Wiki and C3 at 4 p.m., and then I'm raiding over to Skywind. And the Skywind team is going to be showing us their Morrowind and Skyrim mod a little bit more in depth for an hour. So that'll be an exciting one. That'll be around 5 p.m.
Sweet.
Yeah. And stuff happening on all day Sunday, too. So yeah, check it out. If you have any questions, you can ask in Discord. And I posted the schedule there, too. But that's pretty much it for the bits.
Did that cool-looking game Crimson Desert come out yet?
Oh, it's coming out next week. Yeah, we're getting Starfield news, but Crimson Dessert, that yummy, yummy dessert is coming. It should be is it the 17th, I believe? I'm pretty sure it's the 17th.
Know.
No, 19th. I keep getting that confused. So it'll be out on Thursday. Looks great. It's actually, for the longest time, people were like, well, we're only seeing PC footage. What about console footage? Digital Foundry got a hold of the PS5 Pro version, which is, only slightly more powerful than the Series X. Just only a hair. And it's running great, looks great. They're doing some kind of wizardry with their engine. So expect it to run well on console too. Yeah, I'm excited about that.
Yeah, looks beautiful.
It does. It does. It's a listen only does everything kind of game, which of course that's dangerous. Like, does it do, if it does everything, does it do them well? But I'm feeling like it will.
I do lots of stuff pretty piss poorly. It's great. Have fun.
Jack of all trades, master of absolutely none.
Yeah, exactly. You said that wraps up news. Okay. I think that is all I have. Is there any other topics that you guys would like to bring up on the show this evening? Well, in that case, I will let you guys know you could find Ray and his No Man's Sky show, Butcher Baker Candlemaker in Space, at BBC ISSS and at Ray LB. Ray, thanks so much for hopping on.
Good times.
Jess can be found at Sleep is 4T for all of her many projects. Look for updates on all the things she was talking about earlier on the show tonight. So, Jess, thank you so much for hopping on.
Thanks. Have a great week, y'all, and enjoy that corned beef and cabbage. I'm
going to go dig in right now. I can be found in our Facebook group. Everybody tends to hang out in the Discord. So sign up over there, and the show can be found at the Fallout Feed. I'd like to thank everyone for downloading this edition of the Fallout Feed. We will see you in the Wasteland.
Thank you for downloading this episode of the Fallout Feed Roundtable. If you are interested in doing a play-along character with us, the show can be contacted by emailing falloutroundtable@gmail.com. For the Roundtable schedule, our Amazon link, and all other show information, please head on over to asapodcasting.com, where you will find the Fallout Feed, a Skyrimatic podcast, our YouTube channel, the Chatterbox, as well as other content. Once again, thank you for downloading, and we'll see you in the Wasteland.
They have a foot fetish, like hardcore. Oh, check out the size of these feet. I mean, he's got soul.
Eyeball on the screen.
The perverts. The Forbidden Zone. The coils of Nikola Tesla. Science.
I guess I better get my penis feet in gear. Oh my. Just pounding and pounding and pounding.
I feel like everything can see me. Burn things with my fist.
The legs are just short and kind of stubby.
At one point, he snapped out of his unattentive state when there's a reference to his penis feet, which, well, that's rude, frankly. Sterling's toes are, well, they're quite small.